Have you ever been put under anesthesia? Did you know that medical students working at the hospital have access to bodies that are under anesthesia, and they literally put speculums inside? I am not making this up when I tell you that this has happened hundreds of times across the United States. People who are under anesthesia are getting their uterus checked by medical students who are learning the body, and not just one medical student. Sometimes the teacher will be like, okay, all 4 of you go ahead and do a pap smear. Feel the pathology of this person's body. And it's not just when people are getting surgery for down there. It will literally be for all different types of surgery. And this is permitted because on the consent form that people sign, it says that anyone on the care team can be a part of the person's healthcare plan. If you don't believe me, you need to listen to this podcast, I Weigh with Jamila Jamil. It's an interview with Amajine Goddard. This person made a documentary called At Your Cervix, and it's all about how there have been so many cases of non-consensual pelvic exams. When I tell you that my mind was blown when I listened to this podcast, this is happening every single day. Medical students have to go through different rotations. They go through like 8 or 10 rotations when they're figuring out what field they want to go into in medicine. And when they're doing their gynecological rotation, they have to do a certain amount of pelvic exams. There are people who get paid to have a pelvic exam done and be a part of, the teaching experience for medical students. But there are so many cases of people who do not know this happened to them or wake up feeling kind of weird, especially people who have experienced SA. This is just so wrong. This is SA in the medical field. Medical students are being put in a really difficult situation because a lot of them know that they need to have consent. But when your teacher is like, yeah, go ahead, a lot of times the medical students just think, oh, they already got their consent, so this is okay. But also doing a pelvic exam on an unconscious body, obviously there's a lack of consent, but it's not an accurate way to examine someone. Regularly, if you're getting a pelvic exam, if you're getting a pap smear, you have a person who is there, who can feel everything that you're doing, and whose muscles are not relaxed like they are when they're on anesthesia. So when they're doing that pelvic exam in anesthesia, they're not really getting the correct pathology, and they're not getting the reactions from the person. So they're not actually learning how to take care of their patients in a safe and comfortable way. And I know some people are going to be like, why bring race into this? But this happens to Black women 4 times more than the average person. If you know the history of gynecology, this is not a surprising statistic. The father of gynecology, J. Marion Sims, the person who invented this awful contraption, he first made it out of spoons. He would do surgeries and examinations on enslaved Black women. No anesthesia, no pain medicine. That's how gynecology started. So is it a surprise that they're monopolizing our bodies, taking them and using them without our consent? Pretending like women, especially Black women, don't feel pain? No, it's not surprising. Even if people are under anesthesia, the body remembers. So what do we do about it? First, share this post. We need to get the awareness around this. And second, you need to be talking to your healthcare providers if you're going to have surgery. And I mean any surgery, because this is happening for like knee surgery, for nose surgery, for like a lot of different things. You need to ask your doctor who is going to be a part of the care team, if there are going to be any medical students, if the medical students are going to be a part of it, what procedures are they going to be implementing. And also on your consent form, you can write stuff in. You don't have to agree to everything that they say in the consent form. You can cross it out. You can say, I don't want any medical students to be working on my body. Organizations like the people who made this documentary, they're getting legislation passed. They just got something passed in Colorado so that consent forms need to be explicitly stating what's happening to a person's body, and it also protects anyone from getting a pelvic exam without their consent. I hope this was enlightening for you. Make sure to hit that follow button because I'm probably going to talk about this more. Just know that I'm here for you. If you have any questions, if this blew your mind, please make a comment. Share this with your friends who are about to get surgery. If you got this far, thanks for sticking with me, and thanks for being part of the Sex Education community.